right. Hello, everyone. Turnover Carbon here. Welcome to episode 4 of the Journeyman series. We just finished our first season at Kent State. As you can see, very successful. 9-4 overall record. We went 7-2 in the MAC and won our bowl game against Marshall to grant us the MAC Coach of the Year award. So insanely successful first season, especially when the athletic director's goal was 4 wins. I think we eclipsed that just a little bit. But the business for today is a bit grim. We have many seniors transferring, or excuse me, graduating, 21 in fact. We have one player who wants to transfer out, and we may have to make some cuts for scholarship reasons. But before we do that, though, we have to see off this senior class. And while, not all of them were key contributors, there were multiple all-conference players. Of the 21, I would say about 16 or so were either contributing starters or key backups. So let us get into that. My goal for today is go through the transfer portal through the spring and summer months, and then if there is time to play the first game of next season, we shall do so. Again, just a really quick thank you. The first episode of this series on YouTube crossed over 100 views yesterday, and on Twitch, that VOD is getting close to 50 views. So thank you all who watched the first episode. I hope you're continuing on into what is now episode 4 and beyond. So let's really quick just get into the players that are graduating. First things first, Alfredo Mullen was my number 1 offensive lineman, 27 pancakes, 3 sacks allowed, all conference. No complaints. It's a little interesting that he's ranked as a UFA. Usually high 80s O linemen get drafted. So we'll see what happens there. Running back Kylan Baxter, who had over 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown to boot. To quote Pep Guardiola when Aguero left, we cannot replace him. We literally have zero avenue to replace Kylan Baxter. So whatever happens next will be a step back. But we will miss him dearly. Wide receiver Miles Johns, he wasn't the best kick returner in the history of the world. He fumbled twice, but that's beside the point. He eclipsed 1,000 yards passing, got 8 touchdowns on the season. And overall put together a really successful campaign. I think he definitely benefited, as you can see here at the end, from Giovanni being our starting quarterback, where we had to throw it a bit more, where he got 4 touchdowns and about 400 yards in 3 games. So you can do the math on if he would be able to keep that pace the whole season. Defensive lineman Jay Pierce had 51 tackles, 3 sacks, 9 tackles for a loss. Overall played really, 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 really well. And I think replacing him, it's going to be tough. I'll go over the team needs that I've written down later, but D-line is close to the top of the list. Tight end Cody Lopez wasn't involved as much as I have hoped. 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, ain't nothing to scoff at, but I do think one of the ways our offense was a little lackluster is using our tight ends as sort of short bailout options. Another defensive lineman, Jack Hilton, 32 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, a sack, forced fumble. Solid, dependable D-line. No notes. Offensive lineman Trace Moss, 19 pancakes, 1 sack allowed. Very strong, very solid. his 102 run blocking is just insane. And then Hunter Crane, another wide receiver, nearly 40 catches, 537 yards, 4 touchdowns. He also was one of the lone bright spots whenever I tried to end around. It worked with him more often than not. So I'll definitely miss that aspect. Our kicker, Maxwell Welch, who went 19 of 20 on field goals, 43 of 44 on extra points. And the hilarious thing about all of that is his extra point miss was in week 2 and his field goal miss was in week 12. So he started the season with a miss, ended it with a miss, but everything else was perfect. So I'll definitely miss him. I think we do have his replacement coming in, which should help. But I mean, he made all conference. Speaking of all conference, corner Aaron Rainey, who kind of suffered from the fact that we had a lot of good corners. So the top guys didn't play as much in terms of snap percentage, but still 25 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, sack, forced fumble, pair of picks. He did allow a 70% completion percentage. That's a bit grim, but we'll just sidestep that here in this review. And then Ty Hawkins, our quarterback, who unfortunately suffered a season ending injury in week 10. Overall, I think he was solid, would be the word I would use. 63% completion, 2,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, did have 8 picks for a QBR of 140. Rushing wise, he had 35 carries, 141 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns, as well as 2 fumbles. Looking back on his season, I think he had, I would say, 3 great games, which would be against Central Michigan, where he undoubtedly had his best game. Eastern Michigan, he had a very strong performance. And then at the end against Toledo, his middle stretch here was eh. This is where he had most of his turnovers, his fumbles. He had multiple interception games. So I would say I think we'll be fine and be able to upgrade. But having him for a year as sort of a stopgap option worked pretty well. I'm a little annoyed about his injury, just because we'll never kind of finish his senior season. Third wide receiver, Andres Irving, didn't feature that much. He had 19 receptions, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was our backup kickoff and punt returner, but overall, he really didn't contribute all that much. And again, handful of catches, and then when Giovanni Ramsey came in, he saw a little bit of uptick in performance, but not one of the players will miss that much. Tyler Walton, offensive line, 13 pancakes, 5 sacks allowed. Overall, pretty good defender. He was injured for, I think, 1 game, but overall, dependable O-line, no notes. Safety, Tanner Crane was fine. I mean, 21 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. He got a forced fumble, got a pick. His completion percentage for passes against was fine, 54%, but, not, the most difficult player to replace. Similarly, in that conversation, Braden Carlisle, 24 tackles, tackle for loss, forced fumble, pick. His completion percentage about the same, 55%. These two were our starting safeties. So, on one hand, I have to replace 2 starting safeties. On the other hand, it's not an insane amount of production that I'm going to have to miss. Davion Dunlap was a player that surprised me. He was our backup tight end, and yet he got 400 yards, got a clutch touchdown. Did have a fumble, which is a bit annoying. But I didn't have that high expectation for him going in the season as a backup tight end. But I mean, he had more yards and more receptions than our starting tight end. So, linebacker Isaiah Reynolds was one of our starting linebackers last year. 53 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 pressures, 2 forced fumbles, pass defense. He will miss his production. Also, because when I show you our linebacker room after this, it's a grim picture. But he did really, really well. Esteban My friend, 126 carries, 600 yards, 3 touchdowns. There was a period of time where I debated benching Esteban toward the start of the season, but then he put together a decent game against Ohio, really good game against Nevada, Akron, and then Marshall had his best game in the bowl game, including got 2 touchdowns. So I'm glad he ended the year strong. Just, average running back, nothing too crazy. And then finally, we have Corey Solis, who was a wide receiver that didn't really see the field. He got, really only receptions in 3 games. Got a touchdown, which is nice for him, but he was a depth option. John Cochran, who played a lot, and then I kind of moved him around in the depth chart, but alas, 26 tackles, 6 tackles for a loss. This is after I moved him up in the depth chart, I think somewhere around here, just for his production's sake. But not really one of the seniors that will miss all that much. And then finally, corner Todd Henry, who appeared in 4 games for 3% of sacks. He was targeted once, and he allowed the catch. So, looking at the position groups, I mean, we're losing multiple starting linemen. I'm losing 2 of my top running backs, 2 of my top 3 wide receivers, both my starting D linemen, my starting linebacker. It's not great. This is where the team ranks after all those seniors leave. Our rushing skill is down to a 70. Our run block and pass block is down to a 72 and 71, respectively. Our offense just got nuked. So we're going to need to get creative in the transfer portal, I think. But that is all the seniors leaving. We salute them out the door. Thank them for their contribution. And now we move on to the players transferring. Uh-oh. Not mid-dropped frames. I'm sure it's nothing. All right, so good news is only one player wants to transfer. Bad news is I would like to keep him, and we may need more than 9 scholarship spots available because I can't access recruiting. Yeah. So we still have 5 recruits that I'm targeting that have yet to commit, which means if I keep Giovanni, that brings me up to 8 spots available. If I bring in all 5 of these men, that brings me down to 3 spots for transfers. That is way, 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 way too few. So we're going to have to make some cuts. Let's go to quarterback room really quick. This is my quarterback room right now. As you can see, it sucks. There's no way around that. Giovanni Ramsey is the player that wants to leave. The benefit of Ty Hawkins getting injured is Giovanni got to have a little audition at the end of the year, and there's no way around it. He crushed it. I mean, his final stat line on the season, 71% completion percentage, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks, a QBR of 198. By that sample size, he should stay. The argument against him is that he has a 75 overall with D- potential, and we may be able to find something better in the transfer market or play one of the younger guys like Joaquin Newell, Seth Vogel if he develops well. My fear with that is I would rather have Giovanni as a 1-year stopgap option to give all these guys time to develop than risk going after a transfer QB. Giovanni wants to play 75% of snaps. In other words, to be our starting quarterback. And I am fine with that. I am going to make that promise to him that he will be our starting QB next season. To that end, freshman Landon Heath, my friend, my comrade, Goodbye. We're cutting him because realistically, A, we don't need him. B, we need the roster spot. Newell, I'm going to keep because he's going to be our backup next season, and then both Vogel and Morgan will redshirt. Running back, it's not a good list. Let's get that out of the way. Jeremiah Carr is really the only contributing running back returning, and he was far and away the worst of our three running backs, though he did get 10 touchdowns. Isaiah Sims, I expect to contribute in year one. Braden Strong or red shirts. I'm debating cutting Braden Flowers because really I know I'm going to be transferring in a running back. So maybe even two. I need the room. All right, wide receiver. So we're bringing back Henry Malavey, which is good, Drew Crawford, which is good. And then the guys behind him are all guys that didn't really play. They all redshirted essentially, including I redshirted junior Jason Clark. So I expect these guys to play a decent amount. I think with wide receiver, I want one top heavy, mid 80s guy. The depth will fill itself out. I am cutting Efrain Leslie because he's a 66 overall and D minus potential. Get out. Tight end, I can't really afford to cut anyone. Andrew Rutherford, I might even move to offensive lineman. Ty Bunch is going to contribute next season. Skylar Kyle will contribute next season. We'll see how things shake out. But at the moment, my plan is to move Rutherford to O line just because of his strength and blocking ability. He might get the debuff or the nerf to stats, the 3% nerf because he's small, but we'll see. Speaking of small, behold my offensive line room. I'm returning a handful of key contributors, including Armando Gupta, who allowed 5 sacks, a couple depth guys, but I am going to make some cuts here. Jose Berry is going to get cut. Levi Hubbard is going to get cut, as I just don't need that many depth alignment, especially when I'm bringing in guys like Travis Shannon, Anthony Carr to fill that role. But yeah, O line is a huge need. I'm debating cutting Micah Ryu, who barely played that much last season. I assume Brandon Peoples is going to be ahead of him anyway. I think I will make that cut to bring us down a little bit. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Kicker. I am cutting Kai Gamble. I am going to take one integrity hit. Okay, I might double back and change some cuts, but I don't need two kickers. Like realistically, Carlos Kearns is going to be my starting kicker next year. Nakamura is going to be my starting punter. I don't need three. The one integrity hit here does sting a little bit. I'm just looking to see if there's anyone else I would want to cut. But I think 15 should be enough scholarship places. Yeah, I mean, we just have our defense is doomed, man. Malachi Calhoun's going to be asked to play a lot. Rowan Seals is going to play a lot. I don't want to play Clark Bacon that much if I can afford it. Linebacker, it's going to be a bad year at linebacker. I'm just kind of accepting that. I may only play like 4 players, to be frank. Corner, I think we're honestly okay. I would like to cut Roland Santos, but that's a 2 integrity hit. We're getting a little shaky. I think here, I'll keep Micah Ryu to bring it back to 1. And then I'll cut Eric Abrams to bring it to 2. You know what? No, I'll keep Flowers. He has B potential. No, that was essentially my reasoning. I'm not going to keep Landon Heath. Like, this cute Ramsey, Newell, Vogel, and Morgan is a fine enough QB room, I think. No. Who's the wide receiver I cut? Afrain? Nah. Hmm. You know what? Nah. I'll keep Landon just to save me the one integrity. So that gets me 14 scholarship, open scholarships. Assuming I get all five of these men, that brings me to 9 transfers I can bring in. I think that's fine. All right, so we are keeping Giovanni Ramsey. He is going to be our starting QB next season. Fingers crossed. If this backfires, we now know who to blame. For some reason, the advance week after players leaving, players transferring, and I think the draft one always slows down the stream, which is annoying, dare I say. Mm. All right, so no players from Kent State were drafted. Well, is that just disappointing? All right, so here's the transfer portal and all the players leaving. No 90 overall guys. There are a handful of QBs that are transferring, including a 5-star freshman prospect from Bama. That must be nice. One thing I did want to look up. I don't think he transferred because I assume he was the starter. But Stanford had that insane quarterback. Now it looks like their backup transferred though. It's a shame. All right. Well, no one no one from Kent State was drafted. We have the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame inductees, record book updates, etc., etc. Ty Hawkins, Baxter for all these. All right. Let us advance to the transfer portal. Okay. Welcome to the show. So I have 14 open scholarship spots. I have 5 recruits already coming in. If I want to, I can take the integrity hit and renege anyone's scholarship. I don't think I want to do that. What I do need to remember to do is when I add the transfers to drop all these 5 down in the order. But yeah, I'm ahead on these guys. I'm behind on guys like Gold, and I mean, I'm not gonna do anything more than target player for these guys, just because there's really no point. All right, so let's talk my team really quick. So the team needs I've written down. Running back is one of my biggest ones. Right now, Jeremiah Carr is my starting running back. We can't really have that. Isaiah Sims, I have high hopes for, but I need to bring in another running back, maybe even 2. Wide receiver, I would like a guy up top. I don't hate our depth. I think our depth is pretty solid. We're just going to need someone up top to pair with Henry that can ball out. I need a tight end, especially if I want to move Andrew Rutherford to defensive line. Speaking of which, hello, or offensive line. O line, we need bodies. I'm keeping a lot of production. 4 guys got more than 50% of sacks, but I don't really know if I want to depend on high 70 overall guys at the top, especially if Micah Ryu is going to have to play. Can't have that. Kicker, we are sorted. Defensive line, again, similar conversation to wide receiver. I don't hate our depth, especially with Rowan Seals, I think can be solid. Corey Crump is going to play. We just need guys at the top. Linebacker, I need all the help I can get. There is a world where I slam Bradshaw, Coley, Persuade, and Bradley all into the starting lineup and just play the kids. Like that is a genuine option. Corner, I think we're fine. I don't think we need anyone new at corner. We are bringing in the recruit, but that is fine. All these guys are going to develop well. No issue. Safety, we're good. I'll just play a mismatch of these guys and I'll redshirt Gavin Graham. Everything else than that is on the table. Preston Vaughn was able to redshirt, which is big for him. So that's where I'm at. I think our biggest needs are running back, D line, and linebacker, and we need some help at wide receiver, tight end, and O line. So first things first. Does any transfer just want to come to me who like really wants to play ball? Ooh, a linebacker. Then again, the interest, yeah, isn't gonna really points ahead with initial contact. Who wants to come on down? Let's start with the running back room. Hello. Oh God, no one wants to play for me. It's fine. It's fine. Trevor Russo. Your ball security is 60, my friend. Jaden Paul. I mean, his speed is terrible. Let's get that out of the way. Ooh, Tyler Gilbert. I can get behind. 83 speed, 81 ball carrier vision. We're already ahead of him. We're competing with Michigan for his signature. Michigan, how bad is your running back room? Whatever. All right, Tyler Gilbert's going to be a good one to go after. I like him a lot. Oh yeah. Muhammad Suarez. I can put him at wide receiver. I can put him at running back. Get in the building, son. Where am I in this race? About even. All right. And then it looks like Trenton Rose I'm right behind on, but I don't really. How many open spots do I have? 14. 9 out of these. I think I'll stick with just those two running backs. All right, let's take a wide receiver. So wide receiver, I'm looking for a top-heavy guy. It's like Miguel Cross. Really good speed, good catching. I only get him for a year, which is a bit disconcerting. Kendall John, I like. His speed is low, but no one else wants him. So I'll add him to my list. Matthew Neal is interesting. His potential ain't great, but he has a really good speed, really good catching, really good route running, and I get him for 2 years. I think that's preferable to wow. 89 speed, 104 evasion. I don't know where I would play you, Mr. Garrison, but that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I think I like those two. Riley Fully, I like as well. More so. Ooh. Hold, please. 98, 87, 83. Yeah. I think Garrison is interesting, but yeah, I'm going to remove Garrison and go for Beasley. I like Kendall John. I think Beasley might be more ready, though. That is 4 wide receivers. I don't need that many. I'll look at them all later, but I'll probably end up removing 1 or 2. All right, tight end, just give me people, please. Oh, we're already ahead on you, Mr. Child. 76 catching. Say less. Get in the building. I already have good blocking tight ends. Yeah, so what I want right now is a guy like Aiden Nicholson, who has good speed. His catching is good. I don't really care about blocking right now. I have tight ends and other guys who can do that. So that's a pretty good list there. So that's that. Offensive line hit me. This could get ugly, people. This could get ugly. Oi, the 89 overall guy's actually kind of interesting. Oh, I'm 1,000 behind OSU. What's the point? Hayden Rhodes. He can't run block to save his life, but ooh. Eh. Honestly, I'll throw my hat in the ring for Sullivan, but I mean, this is just a grim list. Jet Burton, I'll add to the list because I don't think he's that terrible. But yeah, it's not looking good. Let's just get that out of the way here. Trent Norton, he could honestly develop into somebody okay. Same with Jax. 61 strength. What was Compton's? 59. Did you redshirt, kid? He did. Hmm. I'll take 3. That might backfire, but we'll see. D line, just give me literally anyone. Wow. 500 behind. Yeah, it doesn't look like a lot of D linemen want to come and play for me, which, is a little hurtful. I might grab the A minus kid just to help deaths, if I'm being honest. But yeah, the D line group is leaving much to be desired. Sebastian Irwin, I don't hate, which should tell you everything you need to know about the state of my D line room. And then Reed Doss, 1 year stopgap option. I don't hate that at all. All right, where am I at? That's 20. Okay. Last position group is linebacker, and then I will start calling the list. Oh, yeah. Do I go for the redshirt freshman? Not really. Screw it. Bring him in. Ooh, Wyatt Fisher. I'm competing with Michigan schools for this guy. Get in the building. Armando Everett, I like also. Okay, that's the list. All right, so I have 14 open spots. I have 23 players in this list. I did want to double back to the receivers really quick. Let me just compare notes here. So I think Kendall John is in just because his potential is so high. So I'm going to offer him. I think the debate is between which one of these three. And in terms of points ahead, John is also the one I'm furthest behind on. But in reality, I'm ahead on all these guys. Fully, I think fully I'm out on. Even though he's a speed demon, I kind of already have that. Or no, I don't actually, because I lost both Johns and Irving. Hmm. I like Beasley. I think, more. I think Fully is out, and the debate now is on Matthew Neal. Hmm. The knock on Beasley is just his route running and the fact that it's a 67. He has 93 catching, and his ball security is better than Neal's. So, in all honesty, I can live with that hit. So, yeah, I'll drop Neal. All right, Beasley and John, wide receivers, sorted. And then running back, I'm going after both of these two men. Oh, whoops. All right, tight end and O line. I'll offer both my tight ends. All right, offensive line. Let's do some stuff. Obviously, Sullivan and Burton get the offers, and now the debate is between the redshirt freshman and the sophomore Norton. I like Norton. Then these two, it's kind of dealer's choice. And at that point, I would go with Jackson. So let me offer him. All right, so that's all these guys offered. D-line. Okay, hi, D-lineman. So Reed Doss, I'm going for. That should be obvious. Irwin, I'm also going to go for. The knock on Irwin obviously is his strength is really low. He might be better suited as a linebacker, but the problem is his coverage is terrible. So that's something I'll have to figure out. All right, linebacker. So I'm already getting these two recruits. So Silas can drop. And then honestly, I like both Everett and Fisher. I like them both. I don't think I'll get Fisher. I'm pretty behind the Michigan schools. But we'll see. Okay, that should be everyone offered. Yes. All right, cool. Let's save in advance. See where we're at. Did I forget to give pitches to all of them? Yes, but it's fine. I'll just do that now. All right. Oh, first things first, priority order. Every single one of the recruits are going to the very bottom. Actually, yeah, send to bottom. Send all the recruits down to the bottom. I don't think I really care about their order. I think that's what I want. All right. Let's figure this thing out. So I have 14 spots. I have 19 guys I'm looking at. Of the 19, I'm ahead on 13. Perfect. Okay. First things first. Let us see. Let me get my priority order back. All right. So running backs are 1 and 2. Cody Sullivan is 3. Burton is 4. Beasley is 5. John is 6. Doss is 7. Everett 8. Fisher 9. Norton 10. Everything else as is. Safe. All right. Now that looks all nice and pretty. So my priority then is figuring all this out. So I'm behind on these guys. How far behind am I? 760 on the 5-star freshman O lineman. Do you care about money, kid? Ooh. Right. There we go. So he wants. So I need to give him 800,000 for him to like me. That's fine. I really want to snipe Cody Sullivan from all these schools. So I'm going to offer him the 75% threshold to get him in the building. At that point, then honestly, yeah, at that point, I'm gonna let the other schools fight for Sean Jackson. Okay, linebackers. I think you two just get the best defensive pitches I can because I'm not looking at that many defenders. He's very. Yeah, the issue I'm going to run into is just because I don't have that much NIL left to hit the minimum threshold is going to be tough. That's going to be tough. The recruits, I don't care about you. Mohamed Suarez, I would love and need to get in the building to the point where I will. How far ahead am I in Gilbert? 218. The fact that Michigan's running back room is so terrible that Gilbert would play for them annoys me. I think the priority is Suarez here. Gilbert, did you redshirt? No. Oh, you're a JUCO. Okay. Wait, no, he's not. That's a sophomore. Interesting. Oh yeah, because it's the first season. Duh. Gilbert also cares about money. Okay. So in that case, I'll do the regular pitches and save the money decision on those two for later. Sebastian Irwin, I would like, but I don't like him enough where I want to pay money. DePaz, I don't care. Norton gets a good pitch. Doss, and then the rest of these are just whatever the best pitch available is. We'll see. I think there's a decent chance I take a lot of walk-ons, but I'm honestly okay with that because I need the young guys on my team to play anyway. Okay, so financially speaking, Sullivan I paid 800,000 to. Who else? I would like to pay money to one of Everett or Fisher, and of the two, I think Everett would be the one. He wants 700,000 for the minimum. That gets me 770 points. I'm okay with that. That brings me to 800,000, which means okay, yeah, I can pay both or one of the running backs and have a little bit of money left over. I think of the two, I would just have to go with Suarez because his potential is that much better. Yeah. So I'll just yeah, I'll do that now. So he wants what, 500 and let's just do 50,000. That gets me 250K left over. All right. Pitches are done. Kendall John gets nothing, and the recruits also get nothing. I don't think I want that. Here, I'll give Norton target player and see what Ball State does. And I'll give John the extra 130 points. Seems to be my call at the moment. Yeah. All right. That's recruiting week 2. All right. So last week I was ahead on 13 of them. Now I'm ahead on 8. So that number got cut in half. All right. I'm going to have to choose. We're going to have to forsake some guys. So Wyatt Fisher, I'm 1,000 behind. Thank you, Western Michigan and Michigan, for arriving. All right. So him we're punting on. Cody Sullivan, I'm 960 behind, which is a shame. I'm going to do something a bit silly. What was his name? Cody Sullivan. I am going to take the integrity hit to get my 800,000 back. Because mathematically speaking, I'm not making up that 1,000-point difference. And I would rather get that 800,000 back now than not at this point. Okay. So, Reed Doss, I'm 320 behind, but you and your target player nonsense, Michigan schools. Yeah, I mean the issue I'm gonna run into is every single transfer guy I could and probably will get sniped on. The only thing saving me is that they've all offered, and so they don't have to get the scholarship boost anymore. That's the only thing saving me. All right, I'm gonna do this by position. Assuming I can click the right button, which, to be fair, might be a fatal conceit. All right, so Suarez, I'm 173 behind. I've already offered money. Gilbert, I'm 230 behind. And Michigan offered a lot of money. I think I'm going to have to accept the fact that I'm only going to get one of them. And of the two, I mean, interest is about the same. But I see an easier path to catching FAU for Suarez than I do Michigan with Gilbert. So I'm going to drop Gilbert. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a lot of walk-ons. What I'm going to do is just look at the recruit transfer list and just grab high potential guys to fill out my ranks. All right, Suarez, you get OC Great Pitch. That gets me 323. If I offer him an additional 250,000, that gets me 477. So that means FAU would have to have a less than 300 point pitch. The odds of that are slim, but I will come back to it. Yeah, I think I'm trying to fish in ponds that are a bit too big for me. My wide receivers are going to get the best pitches I can because we need wide receivers. Kendall John wants 540. I'm going to give it to him, honestly. Like, that gets me 800 points and should be enough to stave off Oregon State. His interest in you, Oregon State, is so low. Come on. And then we're just going to have to hope that 350 points is enough for Beasley. Oh, whoops. Tight end. Hi, guys. Yeah, I'm not going to get Childs, am I? That's annoying. Let's see. With 315, yeah, they'd need a pitch of 200, and I assume their target player is more than 200. Although, actually, here's the way to do math on that. Oh, I can't go up that high. Rats. Okay. So Childs, I'm going to punt on and instead offer a Don to try to get him, which is a bit annoying, but he's a better pass catcher, which gives me some hope. Offensive line. All right. So Ball State did in fact leapfrog me. How rude of them. So Burton becomes the priority. Yeah, I'm running into the issue of the market value where I just don't have enough NIL money. So yeah, Norton is lost. Priority now is Burton. I mean, let's see. Miami would have to put a 630-ish offer for Burton, which I don't foresee them doing. So I think Burton we're going to get, which is good because he'll probably be our third, fourth O lineman, which is a sad state of affairs for my O line room. All right, so we're getting the two recruits. It looks like I'm not going to get gold, which is fine. $610. Irving is 322. Okay. I mean, honestly, I would really like Doss, but I don't think we're going to get him. Gold, I'm fine with not getting. Irwin, that gets me 219 points ahead. And I'm going to take the penalty if they offer more. I'll circle back. And then last but not least, my linebacking boys get the best offers I can. But I have a feeling I'm going to lose out to Cal for Everett. I mean, I think I'll get. Oh, wait, no, not Tanaka. What am I doing? The 850,000 I gave to Tanaka when the fight with Ohio was close is really looming large here. Yeah, I think that kind of kills me in this. Okay, so let me double back really quick and just look at transfer guys with, let's just say, B potential that hypothetically I could get ahead on, seeing as I'm going to lose a lot of the guys I want, but part of me is honestly tempted now to go for Russo and just accept the fact that he's going to fumble 10 times. I could circle back. I mean, nah, I'm 500 points behind. The kicker, bring him in the building. Yeah, yeah. It's not the most inspiring list I've ever seen. Hmm. Caden Bush, I'll add to my list. I'll add Russo just for the heck of it, accepting the fact that I'm not going to get him, but I'll add him for the heck of it. So if I offer both men, that gets me 1,500 points. That puts me just ahead on Russo. And then Bush. Nah, Bush, it brings me even. Well, that doesn't help me. All right. And so now financially, if I offer anyone, I can't really offer anyone my NIL money because it'll take the hit. I could offer, let's see. Yeah, the only two I could offer is I could put more points into John or more points into Suarez. How much do I have left? 250,000? Put an additional 200,000 there and an additional 50,000 there. So, as I said before, we have 14 open roster spots. I would be stunned if we get even 7 of these guys. Yeah, I think we're going to have a decent amount of walk-ons, but that is fine. Let's see how it plays out. Oh, I have 3 actions still available. In that case, Owen, congrats, you get a good pitch. Marlon, congrats, you get actually. There we go, Marlon. Have fun, buddy. All right. Cool. All right, let's save an advance and see what happens. My expectations are in the floor. Also, thank God I didn't also have to find a QB while also sorting through that. That would kill me. Okay. Mohamed Suarez. Did we do enough to get his signature? We do. We beat out FAU by 71 points. Ooh, okay. We invested $1 million into him, which I think was the right call. He did really well with Akron, and he can catch out of the backfield, which is something we really need now because Baxter left. I would like the speed to be a bit higher, but besides that, no complaints. He'll be our starting running back next year. Got him in the building. Jet Burton, just take me. Yeah, no, 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 no. All right, Burton and Beasley, we know we're not getting. Kendall John, did we do enough to stave off Oregon State? Yes, we did. They just do an okay pitch. Looks like they ran out of money. We get a number 2, probably wide receiver. Need that speed to go up, but he's already got 91 evasion. He'll do pretty good. He's got A plus potential. I'm a happy man. Armando Everett. Did we do enough? No. The answer to that was no. Cal put $930,000 on the table. Fair enough. Have fun in Cal, my friend. All right. Nicholson, we know we're not getting. Irwin, we know we didn't get. Now for the recruits, Tanaka. We get Tanaka. I like Tanaka. The fact that I offered him 850,000 has genuinely come back to bite me. Because the race with Ohio at one point was really, really close, but that was a mistake because that's NIL money I couldn't spend elsewhere. We know we're getting Peterson to help the linebacker room. We know we're getting DePaz to help out the corner room, and Leonard Engold. Nope. So Akron won the race for gold, but they never offered him a scholarship. I mean, okay. I'll take the A minus potential D tackle. Sure, I got both of them now. They're both gonna redshirt, probably not even play their redshirt freshman year. I'm good. All right, so we have 14 open spots. Right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we did get 7, and then I know I'm not getting these 3. Sadness, despair. Would have been kind of funny, but alas. Huh. The recruit felt disrespected by the lack of NIL deal and a penalty of negative 1,800. Well, okay. Well, you know what? Fair enough, buddy. Have fun at Southern Miss. That is insane. That is insane. All right, and then the last list. We know we're not getting any of these guys. So let me just no dice on any of them. Sadness, despair. Yeah, the no NIL deal killed us for a lot of them. All right. Well, there's your class. Huzzah. I mean, overall, the recruiting class is fine, I would say. We didn't get any 4 stars, which is to be expected. We're a MAC school. I would have liked to get a little bit better potential at the top. Morgan's obviously great. Suarez is great. Vogel will probably be good, but yeah, that's really it. Down at the bottom, we have more good potential guys, but our recruiting, I mean, we're probably in the hundreds. Yeah, we're 131 out of 136, which is where we're at. And we had a light recruiting class because this wasn't the year we need to recruit hard. The year we need to recruit hard is next year because that's when a lot of the young guys they're going to play a lot. But 131 it is, which is worse in the MAC and nearly worse in the whole country. Sadness. I got 2 1-star guys running around. It's kind of funny. Top class goes to Notre Dame. Georgia, though, it looks like has the most 5 stars with 7. So, all right. Hey, our prestige went up from a 2 to a 4 due to, I assume, the Bull win brought us up a little bit. Financially speaking, we got 29 million to play with. First, let's clear our debts. Then I need more NIL money. Give me. I'm gonna say 8 million, and then probably scale that back. Stadium, I don't feel like I want to invest that much in. College life, we're fine with it being where it is. I think facilities, if I get us all the way up to level 4, I think that helps. Yeah, and that's what increases the scout percentage for crew visits. Yep, that's what we need. All right, now I have 4 million to play with. Think I'm gonna spend just the max of our stadium to get it closer to 3. So yeah, facilities goes all the way up to 4, which is a big jump, but I think we need it because we need to get that development because right now with our previous facilities we were getting 0 player development boost. Now we're getting 3.5%, which isn't a lot, don't get me wrong, but by definition anything is better than 0. Do I need less NIL? Like if I drop it to, let's say, 6 million, does that get me to level 3 with the stadium? It does. I'll take that trade-off. I think next year we'll probably be back to where we were with the stadium, but that's fine. And we get a little bit more NIL money than last year. I'm okay with that. All right, stadium gets a little bit of a boost. Facilities gets a big boost. Everything else stays. I like that. All right, here's the earnings breakdown. We got both of our donor goals, which was huge because that's, I mean, $20.5 million that if we don't have, we are doomed. So yeah, that's huge. Speaking of which, let the booster updates commence. What are the odds a diamond donor saw our bull win and they were like, oh, come on. All right, fair enough. Well, we lose one diamond, but we get another diamond. The problem is the new diamond we got is 79 years old. And for those who don't know, donors can die in this game. It's fine. Enjoy the game. Excited to see someone stream it. Yeah, it's been really fun thus far. All right, we got another donor. I'll take it. Getting a nearly 80-year-old donor is a bit worrisome, but it's fine. No realignment for we. Okay. Bama, you must be out of your natural mind. Is it worth the $3 million to get popped by Bama in week one? Oh no. You know what? Screw it. Let's keep it on. Okay. So the payout is -3 for Kennesaw State. So last year our out of conference was insanely difficult. And now I have undefeated number one ranked Bama. Cool. What are some other sports and management games I play? The main other two are Football Manager, which is soccer, and then Out of the Park baseball. But that one I've not played as much the last couple iterations. Just for the heck of it, I'll take the 3 million. Kansas, I'm fine with. Actually, I only have 3 home games. That seems terrible because that means I only get 3 options to bring recruits in. That's actually terrible. How has the schedule? My athletic director should be fired. Anyway, um, all right. Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna edit the Kansas State one or Kansas one. I'm fine with playing a 5 level school to get a little bit of money. What I don't love is that they're all home and homes, but that can be fine. Who do I want? Memphis? Let's do Memphis. I can't change that it's home and home, can I? No. Interesting. Okay. So that gets me a net of just one. I can't play Kennesaw State. That's an insane hit. One home for 2 away. OSU is a single away. Yeah, the problem I'm gonna run into is obviously no one wants to come here. I think I just need to break even against someone. Marshall, we just beat in a bowl game, but I don't know if I want to. And I need it to be home. I need another home game. Um, Cal could be fun. Let's do Army Service School. Why not? So that gets me 4 million. 8 away games is grim. I think I'm okay with that. That all that essentially means is all the recruits that I target over the spring summer periods that want to recruit or want to visit, I need to put them into, which is a bit frustrating. So that gets me 4 million in exchange to getting destroyed by Alabama. I think Army we can go toe to toe with. Memphis will beat us. And Bama, I mean, they might kill us by 80, but we get 4 million, which ain't nothing. Then Memphis comes to us next year. Or 2031. Okay, so it can happen whenever. Okay. Although no. So I don't get that 1 million following year. Okay, never mind. I was a little bit worried I wouldn't get the 1 million from Memphis until I played them again, but I don't think that's how it works. I think they won't get the money from me until I go there. Which at that point, do I really want that? I mean, listen, I could get another 3 million and get popped by OSU. That is on the table. Yeah, it's all home and homes. All right, I'll keep that. All right, so at Bama week 1 for 3 million, at Memphis week 4 for 1 million. Army is a wash. I'm okay with that. I don't know how the schedule got set up in such a way that only 2 of my MAC games, or excuse me, 3 of my MAC games were at home and 5 were away. Feel like we could just move one the other way. It's fine. All right, that's our schedule. Week 1 is going to be terrible. We might get eviscerated. It's fine. Oh, I guess I can turn off the out of conference scheduling contracts, but I kind of like that it's there, especially because it wasn't there in early access. So that gives it a little bit of change. All right, let's advance the week to the new year and hope the stream doesn't lag all that much. Cool. All right, position changes. So the only 2 players I had written down for position changes. Tight end, Andrew Rutherford. What is your rating as an offensive lineman? It is a 69%. At that point, I mean, you play over Micah. You play, yeah, I mean, honestly, God, our O line is so bad. It's fine. We're fine. That does leave me with a horrendous tight end room, but at that point, I'm banking on Bunch and Kyle getting decent gains in the offseason. I think that'll be fine. I'm okay with that. In exchange for having a better blocking O lineman down there. Cool. And then the second one, who was the D line that I determined was really skinny? Was it Sawyer Gates at 271? I think it was. But none of them are that much better. Sawyer Gates, I might move to. His coverage is terrible. I think I'm okay with that. Oh boy. Us not getting. Yeah. Our linebacker room might be in a bit of trouble, but that's okay. And I don't think I want to move any of the safeties to corner, realistically. I could move Marlon Smith, but nah, if I'm going to redshirt Graham, no. All right. Off-season games. Everyone, fingers crossed that we need good games. We need good games from the quarterbacks. If we don't get like good gains, especially from our recruit quarterbacks coming in, we might be in trouble. We might be doomed. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Fingers crossed. Ooh, okay. Well, it has been nice knowing all of you. Oh, Giovanni, buddy. Oh no, it's a zero. To be fair, though, I mean that is what it is. His arm strength and accuracy both went down. His IQ went up by one, which whatever. I mean, his ball carrier vision going up by five and his speed going up by two, that genuinely helps. But man alive. But the other thing is, Newell similarly barely got any benefit. His IQ, I like how, what are we in hour 10 in? It's like 45 minutes ago, I said, if Newell's accuracy goes up, he might play because his IQ is so good. And his accuracy went down and his IQ went down. I should have cut you when I had the chance. Landon Heath got a decent boost, which is good. His arm strength is 81 now, which isn't nothing. He's not going to see the field, but that is what it is. Seth Vogel went up by two. Yeah. Accuracy went up by three, which is good. He needs the red shirt, obviously. Ashton Morgan, his arm strength went up by four. Yeah, so I think my QB plan was my plan A going into this, where these two red shirt, Giovanni's the number one. And then honestly, out of spite, I kind of want Landon Heath to be my backup instead of Newell, which is kind of funny. Running back hit me. Oh, yeah, now we're talking. That's a three for Sims. I'm a happy man. How do you have A plus potential as a running back and your ball carrier vision and ball security don't move? How? How? It's fine. His strength went up by 10, which is hilarious. So clearly, all he did in the offseason was weights. That's all he did. And you know what? I respect it. All right. Carl went up by two. His ball carrier vision went down. His ball security went up. Keep in mind, this is the only returning contributing running back from next year. That last year, that's cool. Suarez, his carry vision went up by three. That's good. He became an even better catcher. Yeah. So I think we're gonna do. I mean, 68 ball security is just so low, but it was lower before. Ooh, Fleming went up by four. Ooh, okay. Fleming's looking like he could turn into something decent. I think it's going to be Suarez 1, Sims 2, and then Carr is going to stay as my third running back. Yeah. Yeah. Suarez might be my tail guy. Oh yeah, wide receiver room. Now we're looking good. Henry barely developed. That's fine. Crawford going up by three is huge. His speed's a 95. Vincent Clay went up. Yeah. My decision to redshirt Vincent Clay has officially paid off. Kendall John, the new transfer, got better. Yeah. All right. Our receiver room, we're good. We're in business. We're looking solid. Cool. All right. Receiver room is good. I don't hate that. I mean, all these bottom three are gonna redshirt. I mean, Decker, his overall went up by three, sure, but his potential dropped to an F plus, which means 71 might be the highest it ever gets. It's fine. Tight end hit me. I mean, that's pretty good. Bunch went up to a 71. His blocking got a bit better. His catching got a bit better. Jalen became a much better run blocker, which is good. Skylar Kyle, you got jumped, but I might play you over Barber. Yeah, I mean, 62 catching is just too low. So yeah, I think it's going to be Bunch, Kyle, then Barber. Cooper O'Neill, the guy redshirted. Hit the weight room a little bit. Okay. O-line. Oh, isn't this just hideous? I mean, good news is our depth guys with B plus and A potential, they developed well. Bad news is the guys who are actually going to play didn't do that much better. But it looks like a lot of them got better with pass blocking, which is good because that was our weakness last year. But I also think there's a legitimate world where I play six O linemen. Rutherford, by the way, the converted tight end, his run block went up by 7. So I think that's a good call there by yours truly. Kicker, what are we saying? Yeah. 82-80 versus 78 and 89. Yeah, so I think Kearns is going to be our kicker. Nakamura will be our punter again. I'm cool with that. And then after Nakamura graduates, Kearns can take punting role as well. The 72 kick accuracy does worry me a little bit, but I think we should be okay. D line, you say? Could be worse. Could be worse. 5 for Sawyer Gates is pretty big. He got 7 block shedding plus 6 strength. That's good. Corey Crump got stronger. Good. Rowan? Yeah, Rowan develops. Rowan, I wish he was younger. Feels like a sophomore, then he could turn to something really good. Yeah, I think D line. I mean, it's going to be a lot of the young guys. Like Gates is going to play, Crump is going to play. Marlon Gold's potential going all the way from an A minus to a B is a bit concerning, but it's fine. Simon Leonard goes up by 4. Okay, D line could be better, could be worse. Linebacker. Isn't this just the saddest group of linebackers you've ever seen? I mean, Meyer went up by 5, which is good. Yeah, I mean, my contributors all went up a decent amount, which is nice. What I was really hoping for was guys to get better in coverage. And it looks like that is literally the one thing that did not happen. Okay, Meyer went up by 9 in zone. That's good. DeAndre is going to play. I mean, he's literally going to leapfrog all the way up to 4 just because of how he contributed last season. Or maybe 5. I like Barton. All right, young guys went up by a decent amount. Tanaka's potential went up to an A plus, and he went up by 4 overall. We could have somebody here. We could have somebody there. All right. I mean, it's not good, but the whole thing with our linebacking group is we're banking on them being good next year, 2 years from now. Foreigner, I didn't need much. I didn't get much, so that's good. Oh boy. I mean, zone coverage being the focus, I think, pays off. Brookins, it goes up by 4. Cheney goes up by 5. Kowalski, who didn't play that much, goes up by 4. Yeah. I think I'm only going to play 5 corners. I think it's going to be James through probably Turner. Yeah. Because, I mean, they're all going to get burned whenever I try zone, but that's fine. Safety, please. My ragtag group of safeties gets even more ragtagger. Look at Gavin Graham. Oh, man. I mean, as a true freshman, I can't redshirt him. Like, you kidding? He might be my number 1 safety. Yeah, literally. He's my number 1 safety. He has 80 tackling and much better coverage than Smith. He's a better tackler than Ogden. He's my number 1 safety as a true freshman. His speed is a 73, which I'm going to be honest is a bit disconcerting. I could redshirt him, but my fear is if I do redshirt him, he'll want to transfer out. That is one to ponder. Marlon Smith goes up by 2, which is good. Nothing for Edgar Guyton. Nothing, sir. Imagine being a JUCO and having no development. That just hurts. All right. I mean, overall, the QB room obviously is disappointing. Um, didn't get much from the top guys in our O line. Safety is just sad, but could be worse. We've had worse off-season game periods. All right, I'm keeping the exact same system, scheme, all that jazz as last year. Um, I will need to. I think Henry's going to be our top target, and then Suarez out of the backfield is our number 2. Third can be Otto. I'm okay with that. I'm definitely keeping a 4-3. Have you seen my linebacker room? All right, let us save and advance to the spring period. Hopefully, good things will happen in this recruiting period. Fingers crossed. All right, this advance usually takes a hot second. All right. Woohoo. Okay. Here's a question. Can I look at other teams right now, or do I have to wait? Because I would like to look at Stanford and their current quarterback, Mr. Brent Wood. Yes, I can see him now. What's his? So, so last year, for those who didn't see it, we played Stanford week 1. They popped us completely, and they had a quarterback, Brent Wood, who had 114 arm strength, and that has since gone up to 116. That is amazing. Imagine just an absolute howitzer. This is just Anthony Richardson. That's what that is. Just howitzer of an arm, accuracy. But I mean, that's just fun. All right, good for them. Okay, practices. We do the auto practices. I am a lazy man. I'll auto assign the trainings. I think it goes pretty well with what I want. Okay, team needs. If I just say every single position, will that be frowned upon? I think quarterback we're genuinely okay, despite my grievance with Giovanni Ramsey. Um, I think honestly, next year I might transfer in like a senior and or give like Landon Heath Vogel a run. But I think QB we're okay, at least for this run. Running back, I would very much like a to grab a running back in recruiting. I think Braden Strong isn't probably going to play all that much. I do like Braden Flowers, but besides that, we don't have the best depth in the free world. Wide receiver, I think we're kind of okay. Although, let's see. So in 2 seasons, I'm going to lose my top 5. Yeah, I think wide receiver is a small need. Then who knows? Maybe I won't even be at Kent State next year. No, I probably will. Tight end, yes, 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 yes. All caps, tight end. We need 7 tight ends. It's true. O line, I'm not even bother scrolling down. We need O linemen. You always need O linemen. Have you seen my lineman? My O lineman. D line, I like our depth, our freshman depth, but I think again the issue I'm going to run into is that in 2 years I'm going to lose my top 4 D linemen, and outside of like Corey Crump, Alan Alston, I don't have that much faith in the backup. So I think D line, pretty decent need. Linebacker, I mean, do you see my linebacking room? I like the depth of linebacker. I think linebacker we're kind of okay because I have much more faith in guys like Braden Colley, Jasper Bradshaw, DeAndre, obviously this year. I think linebacker we're okay. Corner, we're gonna need some help. And then safety only. I mean, look at this. Look at this room. I'm debating if I want to redshirt Gavin Graham. My fear is he wants to be a star, and if I don't redshirt him, he'll threaten to transfer. But then if he does, I can just offer him playing time. He'll be my number one safety next year. So if I redshirt him, my safety room is actually terrible. Like Ogden is slow and he can't tackle, but he's good in coverage. Smith is quick, he can tackle, but he's bad in coverage. Preston can tackle. He's okay. He's fine coverage, but he's slow. And then the JUCO Edgar guy just isn't really ready. I may need to flip a coin on that one. All right. Recruiting. Hello. All right. This is my least favorite period of the game. Is just these spring summer months because it's a lot of clicking. First things first. Does any five-star prospect want to come to good old Kent State? It does not seem to be high interest. I think I saw like a 68, and so far that's been the highest. 66. How many points behind would I be? Yeah, okay. Oh boy. All right, we're going to look at running backs and wide receivers first. Interest. Oi, I already know this guy's a hidden gem. Get in the building. Get in the building, sir. I don't know if a JUCO wide receiver fits my timeline, but he couldn't hurt. Ooh, 72. Nah. I thought about it. I'm like, nah. All right, you're not too bad. I'm not even gonna bother going out for the five-star guy, but I appreciate you, Jose. From Hawaii, and Hawaii isn't even in his top schools. That hurts. That hurts. I realized I clicked that twice, so I didn't need to. It's fine. Why did I just bother with a four-star? I don't know. Right now, I'm just kind of looking at potential. We're ahead on Roger Gardo. That's nice. Boy, I saw an A. On one hand, I'm only 300 behind. On the other hand, the interest in Notre Dame is higher, but it would be kind of fun to fight with Notre Dame for this kid. Let's do it. And thus was my fate sealed. Why did it have to be a D plus? I'm ahead already. He's got good speed. Why did it have to be a D plus? Whatever. All right, wide receivers done. I saw like no running backs on that list, which is a terrible sign, but I'm sure it's nothing. All right. For now, let me just look at 2 and 3 stars. I'm just gonna add the top 5 from this list. Now I'll just do all these guys down here too. Does that get me 10 running backs? 9. I need one more. All right, the running backs will be my camp group this week. So that's running back. That's wide receiver done. Tight ends. Anyone wanna come play for good old Kent State? Probably not, because you've seen how I use tight ends. And you're like, I don't want to do that to myself. I think tight ends. What we need to prioritize is blocking more than anything else. Kenneth Howard wouldn't be too bad. Problem is, I'm looking at the list. Michigan State interest 88, Michigan 77. I'm not even gonna bother. Similar thing here with Troy Trujillo. Yeah, it is not the most awe-inspiring list, I grant you. All right, I'll just grab 10. 1, 2. Actually, I'll grab 5. I don't love the tight end. I'm not even ahead on any tight ends. That tells you how bad we are. Then I'll grab this guy. Rutgers. I'll compete with Rutgers for a kid. I'm not afraid. All right, offensive line. How we looking? B potential to start. My God, you are terrible. But you know what? Get in the building. Oh boy. The reason I'm going to add a lot of these O linemen to my target list is because I'm already up to 25% scouted. Just by them being in my target list 1 week, I will know their potential. That said, a lot of these guys look terrible. So I wouldn't put that much stock in it. But my God, this is. Yeah, you're telling me a JUCO kid wants to come? No, no, no. I was like, hey, but then the interest immediately dissipated. You're actually not terrible. Yeah, let me compete with Oklahoma and Texas for an O lineman. Sure. Sure. D line isn't a huge need. Yeah, let me go for the 4-star JUCO kid. Yep. I think D line, I might honestly have a decent shot getting some higher guys. You're off? All right. Have a good one. D line, I might have a decent chance getting players because my D line room, the opportunity for playing time is just everywhere, but it does not seem to be manifesting itself, huh? No, it is not. All right. Yeah, D line, we might be in trouble. Uh, Linebacker, we're kind of okay. How many spots do I have left? 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, I lied. Thomas Murray. I would like you in the building. Get out. Ooh, Brendan Grant. Get in the building. All right, there is my 40 targets declared. I am going to send my running backs to camp so that I know their potential and I get a pretty big point boost. Actually, it would be smart to not send the guys that have 25% scouted because them I'll just know their potential next week anyway. So I will send a couple of the tight ends. All right. Cool. All right. I mean, so far we're looking pretty good. I think the issue that I fell into last recruiting period was I didn't chase a lot. I kind of settled with guys that I was really ahead on or close behind. I think this time around I need to chase for some better players a little bit, but we'll see how that shakes out. I don't think I'll play my the first game against Bama today. I think I'm just gonna get through the spring and summer and then call it there. Okay, let's look at some potential for some running backs. What do we got? Oh, interesting. Evidently, I don't know if they're in 20%, but yeah, D plus. Get out. D, D minus, F, D minus. Okay, well, we're essentially banking on these five then being being okay. It's a bit hurtful there. Wide receivers I already knew, right? Yep, cool. Tight ends, give me some info. I don't know. All right, you can go to camp. You can go to camp. These guys, I'll just wait. Offensive line. I mean, it's not looking terrible, which is a heck of a barometer. It's not looking terrible. Yeah, D line, I really only found a couple. Send the corners to camp. C plus. I mean, his man coverage ain't bad. His speed is a D, which is not good. Hashtag analysis. Honestly, what I'm gonna do, and it seems like a kind of silly use to scouting, I'm gonna scout these safeties a bunch, just so I can know their ratings and like who to really go after here. No, look, they all look pretty good, to be honest. I think Harley Sizemore is a corner, but besides that, they all look pretty okay. I like Brandon Graham especially. He looks really good. Graham, Sizemore. I'll wait on Hugo. I think Thomas Murray is going to be the odd man out here, and we'll wait and see on Wooten. But yeah, I mean, it's looks like a pretty good group here. I have two camp invites. I'll give one to Saul and one to I don't know, Jeffrey Morrison. Congrats, buddy. All right. Let me give the best pitches I can, and at this point, we're just really trying to get our list figured out. Okay. Thus concludes spring 2. Now in the summer, we can cut our target list down, go back and look at some other guys, and really see where we're at. So auto assign the trainings. Okay. Give me potentials on the running backs. D. All right, hold on. All right, running backs. D minus. I still don't know these guys, but I'll just throw one scout their way. Wow. I mean, when a guy with D plus carry vision and ball security is your best option, then you're kind of we're not looking great there. I might need to run back the running back list. Let me just scout all these guys once. It's not good. Hashtag analysis. Hmm. Okay. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3. Well, there's the D line list cratered. Yeah, it's a guy that, regardless of his potential, I'll just save myself the time here. I still don't know Wooten's. That's okay. All right. Let me relook at running back, tight end, and D line really quick. So running back wise, it's not good. Let's be clear. Yeah, I mean it's a lot of guys with really poor potential that you're kind of just hoping. I mean, I'm grabbing 10. I got to get rid of the one star guy. One more. There we go. All right, I'm gonna send that running back group to camp now. And then I don't think it's enough for me to learn their potential, but I can just scout them all next week and be okay with that. All right. Tight ends. We're back. Two, three, 4, and 5. Because this way I can send those guys to camp next week. 2, 3, 5, 6. I lied. All right. All right. I have a pretty big list here. But I think we'll be able to cut it down again next week, which is good. All right. Okay, let us advance one more time and get into it. Do, do, do. All right, time to break my heart. Running backs, hit me. Yeah, I don't quite know, but one scout gets me the list, so all good. All right. We have a B plus here. That's good. Now I accidentally hit scout instead of remove. I'm doing great. That's kind of funny. I'll scout this guy once more. Hidden gem. So these are the 3 running backs. I guess that I am going for. I might drop Noah Bowers off the list, but we'll see. I mean, the priority is obviously Hamza, without question. Yeah, I'm gonna drop Noah off the list. Prioritize these 2. All right, tight ends, please. I can schedule a visit with you. Well, buddy, I don't really want to do that until I know what games are being played. But you know what? The heck with it. Maxwell Bradley, you can visit against Central Michigan. And then if he's terrible, well, now we know. He's terrible, we know. D plus, sorry, buddy. I mean, his strength's at 58. That's just too low. What's a shame? All right, is there anyone whose potential I don't know that I'm not sending to camp? No. Oh, Lewis Wooten's a C. That hurts. Ooh, Brendan Graham, I can schedule a visit. Hello. You, my friend, week 9 against the Army, Mr. Graham. And honestly, I'm going to have him attend camp anyway just to get the big points. Yeah, Lewis Wooten. I mean, nah, speed. So, I thought about maybe keeping him and maybe moving him to corner, but I don't think that's really in the cards. All right, let me look at some of these corners. It's not good. Some would even say bad. You know what? Those people would not be wrong. Oh boy. I'll go after Cameron Kent. Why not? I can schedule a visit with Mr. Morrison. You, my friend, can come on down to Central Michigan. All right. Things are looking up. Actually, I lied. Morrison, you just get target player. Saw you get the good pitch. Okay. And that's the preseason done. We can all wash our hands of it, move on with our lives. All right. Preseason expectation win at least 7 games. Well, okay. Remember when it was 4 last year? That was fun. I mean, we know we're losing to Bama. We're probably losing to Memphis. So we just need to win 7 of the last group. Win the division. We did not do that last time out. We have the number 125th team in offensive talent, 124th in defensive talent. We are much worse than we were last year, but that's beside the point. Boosters. Let's talk. Okay, pass for 135 yards against Memphis, Bowling Green, and Army. I think I can do that. That seems pretty easy. Hold opponents less than 31 points a game. I think I'm going to go for the win 3 conference games. It gets me the same amount of money. And I mean, I think both are pretty easy, but I know we'll win 3 conference games. So if we be accurate, win 3 conference games, we get about 5 million. If we pass for 135 yards against Memphis, Bowling Green, and Army, we get an additional 4.5 million. Okay. I mean, the schedule looks tough. Don't get me wrong. We have Bama up top, but that's the price you pay for getting $3 million cash. So let me save in advance as we're going up against the number 1 school in the country in week 1. I'm definitely saving that for next stream. All right, thank you everyone who watched Weather Live. I know we had a couple people in the chat, so special shout out to you guys. Or on the VOD, which can be found on Twitch or on YouTube. Hit that follow button if you're on Twitch, like and subscribe if on YouTube. I'll be back sometime early next week to kick off the second season at Kent State against what can only be described as death itself. So thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.